On this episode, we're going to talk about event promotion and production for musicians. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 6 of the Music Mix Club. My name's Ajani Griffith, and I'm so excited to talk about this topic today. Now, as an event producer myself, it is so inspiring to me when I create an event and people come and they show up and they enjoy the event, and it just makes me happy. But most importantly, it's an important part of marketing for a performer, and this is something that is essential to learn from. So I'm pretty sure most of you who will watch this will be an up-and-coming musician who will probably have small events, whether it's a showcase, whether it's a meet and greet, whatever it is. You'll probably have 50, 100, 200, 300 people max at this point in time of your career and show up to an event that you're hosting. And this is critical. This is important. You want to have great events. You want them to be as successful as you possibly can. And I think this blueprint that I'm about to give you will help you. So, from my experience in producing events, the most important thing is to have a concept. If you don't have a concept, if you don't have something that when you come up to somebody, whether it's a sponsor or somebody on the street, and you tell them about your event, you need to be able to tell them in a concise way, in one sentence, what you are doing. So if you don't have that down, then you have to go back to the drawing board, in my opinion, because you don't want to waste people's time. If you walk into a boardroom and you're looking for a sponsor and you can't deliver your idea clearly, you're just wasting your time. You might go 2 weeks into a negotiation and then you realize, crap, I really don't know what I really want or what I'm doing. So this is the most important part. You have to have a concise idea of what you want to do. And then after that, once you have a concise idea, you have to start itemizing and budgeting your expenses. So, you might need a camera guy to videotape your event. If you're having a panel, you might need an audio engineer, to capture the audio if you're doing a podcast. You might need a budget for decoration. You might need anything. Anything that will help your event grow, help your event be successful, help your event be seen in a great light. You need to itemize. You have to budget. The budget is key, obviously, but also you need to understand and do research. Research is the most important part. What type of venue do you want to have your event in? Are you going to have it in a restaurant, a hotel, or are you going to have it in a stadium? Whatever or wherever you have your event, you have to make sure that you itemize every single detail, or at least you have an idea, and then create a budget, and then create a package or a business plan of what you want to do. Once you have all of that, it goes to the next step. Now you have to actually start doing the work. So I think the second most important part, or the second step, is you're going to have to find the people, the talent who will help you. Now you have to go around and find that video guy. If you want, somebody to help you administratively, like an assistant, you're going to have to go out and find that person. And without these people, without a team, it's going to be extremely hard. Now, I will say one thing. Not everybody on your team is going to help you. You have to find the right people, and that's obvious. But I think a mistake I've done before is gotten people who have experience in producing events, but they had some different objective or ulterior motives and wanted to use the experience or the opportunity for their own advantage. So this is something that is very hard. I don't think there's one way to find the right people, but once you find a crack in the people that are supposed to be helping you, walk away. You don't want negative energy affecting your event. You don't want any sudden cancellations in your event. You don't want none of that. And then, for the third and last point, it's basically you go out there and you start telling people about your event. Once you have all your contracts, once you have the sponsorships down, if you're going to do sponsors, once you have the venue, the idea, once all of that is cemented and concrete, make sure you go out there and tell people about your event. And, this is hard. This is difficult, especially when you're starting out. You're going to have to find the budget. You're going to have to find the money. You're going to have to hit the ground, walk around your neighborhood, tell people about your event, call whomever, send emails. Now, the thing about it is most people that you tell, if you're doing a free event, will not show up to your event. Or at least 50% of the people who on average say that they're going to come to your event if you're doing a free event will not show up. So if you're planning to have 70 people show up to your event, based on statistics, you can Google this, you have to at least get 140 to 160 people to say, yes, I will show up to your event, to make sure you cover the loss of people not showing up. Now, interestingly, on the flip side, people do show up to events when they pay. And that's a statistic I just want to throw out there. They have more likelier chances, about 80 or 90% more chances of showing up to your event than when it's free. And that is something that I think plays into human psychology, human sociology, and that's something that I think you should consider. And Google, watch YouTube, research, do whatever you need to do to make your best decision on whether you want a free or paid event. And lastly, my tip for event planning. Make sure that you have a plan B, a plan C. If you're doing an event outside, for example, it might start raining. So you have to have a venue to where, okay, if it rains, you can do it inside. The talent might not show up. That happens all the time. The talent might get sick. The talent might just say, hey, I don't want to do it. And that's unfortunate, but it happens. So you have to figure out whether you're going to have a backup talent. You have to understand if, you're going to have to make adjustments in your show. You have to make sure that you have an idea of the worst case scenario if it happens. And lastly, just have fun. Make sure it's hard work. You're going to have to grind. You're going to have to do a lot of things. But once the event is over and it's successful, if it's successful, you've done a good job. And use that experience to learn more, to produce and execute better on your events, your future events. And that's my perspective on event planning today. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to hit me up on social media, AjaniGee on Instagram and on Facebook. You can also find me on Twitter. They call me Ajani. And also for the Music Biz Club on Instagram